He didn't die because there was no food. He died because he fed the only person he loved. The wind howled like something alive, cold, sharp, unforgiving. It didn't just touch the skin, it cut through it, inside a broken wooden shelter, barely standing against the storm. A man sat in the corner, still, silent. His name didn't matter anymore. What mattered was the small girl sitting beside him, his daughter. Her hands trembled as she wrapped them around herself. Her lips were pale, dry. "Abu," she whispered weakly, her voice barely surviving the cold. He turned instantly, not because he had strength, but because he had to. She looked at him with tired eyes, eyes that didn't understand hunger, but felt it. "Will we eat today?" The question was soft, innocent, but it hit harder than the storm outside. For a second, he said nothing. His eyes dropped. There was nothing left. No food, no help, no miracle waiting outside. Only snow, endless, empty snow. But then he smiled, not because he was okay, but because she needed him to be. "Yes," he said gently, "I'll bring something." He stood up. Slowly, his legs almost gave up under him, but he forced them to move, because a father doesn't stop, even when his body already has. Outside, survival visual. The storm welcomed him like an enemy. Wind slammed into his chest. Snow blinded his sight. He walked anyway, step after step, calling out to no one, looking for nothing, because deep down, he already knew there was nothing to find. The moment, turning point. After what felt like hours, he stopped. His hands were shaking, not from cold anymore, from something worse. Weakness. He reached inside his coat, pulled out something small, a piece of dry bread. Hard, cold. The last thing he had. He stared at it. Long, silent, then closed his eyes. For a moment, he almost took a bite. Almost. But then, he saw her face. The way she asked, "Will we eat today?" He exhaled slowly and put it back. Return. Emotional build. When he came back, she was waiting, eyes full of hope. "Abu, what did you bring?" He sat down beside her, smiled again, and said the words that would become his last lie. "I already ate." He placed the bread in her hands. "Here, you eat." She hesitated. "You won't?" He shook his head gently. "I'm not hungry." That night, she slept peacefully, but he stayed awake, watching her, like it was the last time he ever would. That night, the storm didn't stop. It grew louder, wind crashing against the broken walls, like it was trying to get inside. But inside, it was quiet, too quiet. The little girl slept, holding the piece of bread in her hand. Half eaten, her breathing was slow, weak, but alive. And beside her, he sat, not moving, not blinking much, just watching. The struggle. His stomach burned, not like hunger anymore, like something tearing him from the inside. His hands trembled, his lips had lost color, but his eyes were fixed on her. Every breath she took, he counted it, as if missing one would take her away. Memory hit, pain deepens. He leaned his head back against the wall, closed his eyes for a second, and saw something. A smaller hand, holding his finger, a child's voice. "Abu, don't go." He opened his eyes immediately, breathing heavier. "No," he whispered, as if he was talking to the past. Temperature drop. The cold inside the shelter got worse. Much worse. His breath turned visible. The wooden walls creaked. The storm was winning. He slowly took off his coat, looked at it, then looked at her, and gently, very gently, covered her with it. The breaking point, minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time didn't feel real anymore. His body started to give up. His head dropped forward, then jerked back up. "No," he whispered again, "not now." He forced his eyes open, forced himself to stay awake, because he knew one thing. If he sleeps, he won't wake up. The last conversation. The girl moved slightly. Her eyes opened halfway. "Abu?" she whispered. He leaned closer immediately. "I'm here." She looked at him, confused, tired. "You didn't sleep?" He smiled, a weak, broken smile. "Not yet." She reached her small hand out, touched his face. "You look cold." He shook his head gently. "I'm okay." She closed her eyes again, but whispered softly, "Don't go anywhere." His throat tightened. For a second, he couldn't speak. Then very slowly, he said, "I'm not going anywhere. The moment, death." She fell asleep again, peacefully, warm, safe. He leaned back against the wall, still looking at her, still making sure. She was breathing. His eyes started closing, slowly. This time, he didn't fight it. A single tear slipped down his face, and in a voice so quiet, it almost disappeared, he said, "I lied. I was hungry." His head tilted to the side. His body went still, and for the first time in days, he rested, mourning, silent destruction. The storm stopped. Light entered the broken shelter, soft, cold. The girl woke up slowly. She looked around, then at him. "Abu," she said softly. No response. She smiled a little. "Wake up." She shook his arm. "Abu, look, it's morning." His hand fell slightly, heavy, cold. Her smile faded. Slowly, "Abu." She shook him again, harder this time. "Abu, get up." Nothing. Her breathing changed. Fast, shaking, she grabbed his face with both hands. "Abu, please." And then, her voice broke. "You said you already ate. You said you weren't hungry." Tears rolled down her face, uncontrolled. "You lied." She hugged him tightly, as if holding harder would bring him back, but he didn't move. In the coldest place on earth, the warmest thing was a lie. Morning didn't feel like morning. Light entered the broken shelter, but it brought no warmth, only clarity. The storm had passed, but something else had settled in its place. Silence, not the peaceful kind, the kind that tells you something is gone and it's not coming back. The girl. Realization. She was still holding him, her small hands wrapped around his coat, as if letting go would make it real. "Abu," she whispered again, softer this time, careful, like she was afraid if she said it louder, it might break something. She moved her hand to his face. Cold, too cold. Her fingers trembled. She pulled back slightly, then slowly leaned her forehead against his chest. No heartbeat. For a long moment, she didn't cry, because her mind hadn't caught up yet. The break. Then suddenly, she remembered something. His voice. "I'm not hungry." Her lips started shaking, her eyes filled, and this time, the truth landed. "You lied." Her voice cracked completely. She hit his chest softly with her small hands. "Why did you lie?" But even she knew. He wasn't going to answer. The goodbye, pure pain. She didn't know what to do. She was just a child, so she did the only thing she understood. She fixed his coat, carefully, like he used to fix hers. She wiped his face with her sleeve, even though there was nothing there. And then, she hugged him again, tightly. "Don't be cold," she whispered. Time passed. Legacy begins. Hours passed, maybe more. Eventually, people came, survivors, searching for anyone alive. They found her first, curled beside him, still holding on. "She's alive," someone said. They tried to pull her away, but she resisted. "No," she cried, "he'll wake up." They looked at each other. No one said it, but everyone knew. One of them gently said, "He already saved you." She froze. Those words stayed. Final goodbye. They wrapped him in cloth, prepared to take him away. She stood there, small, shaking, watching as they lifted him. She ran forward, grabbed his hand one last time, and whispered, "I'm awake now. You can sleep." They took him, and for the first time, she let go. Years later, legacy. Time passed. The cold didn't leave, but she survived. She grew up, stronger, quieter, and she never forgot one thing. Someone stayed awake so she could live. Years later, in a small shelter she helped build, there was always food kept aside for children, no matter how little they had. And whenever someone asked why, she would say softly, "Because someone once lied, so I wouldn't feel hungry." At the edge of the snowy land, there was a small place marked with simple stones. She would visit it sometimes, sit quietly, and place a piece of bread there. Not because he needed it, but because she finally understood. He never ate. Some people don't live on in memories. They live on in the way you treat others. He didn't leave her anything except a reason to care. The smallest act of love can outlive a lifetime.